Hello YouTube, this is the 9th video in a JavaScript Basics tutorial series. In this video I'm going to be talking about loops. A loop is something that allows you to execute a piece of code either a certain number of times or until a condition is met. And there are two types of loops that we'll be talking about today. The first is a while loop. While. It looks like that. You have while and then your two parentheses in which your condition goes, a condition just like an if statement, and then your curly brackets in which your code block goes. So we'll create a variable, and let's say while I is less than or equal to 6, we want to log out the value of I. So for each, and then we want to we want to log out the value of I and then increase I by 1. We also say I is equal to 1 or I is equal to I plus 1. But we're going to say I plus plus. Okay, so if we give that a try, we should get 7 outputs, possibly 8. Yeah, okay, so we have 7. We can also, let's see, we can also do other stuff here. Obviously we can, I haven't shown you the right method of the document object, but basically it just writes to the document. Source. Okay, so that's one type of loop. This is the type of loop that has a condition. Basically, this can be used. This is the one you should use when you're not really using numbers. And then the other type of loop that I'm about to show you should be used for using numbers. So, for incrementing numbers. So this has a similar setup. You write 4 instead. But it has 3 settings. The first is the variable that you're going to use, and you set it equal to a value. So we're going to start out with I, and this is going to be a variable that is local to the for loop. So if I try to use I out here, it will not be defined because this is a local variable and this would be a global variable. Okay, so the second setting would be the condition. So we're gonna wait for I to be less or equal to 6, and we are going to and then the third setting is what you want to do each time the loop goes through. So, or cycles, we want to log I. So this is doing the same thing as we did in the while loop. It's just doing it more efficiently. So there you go. Same output as the while loop, but this time, we can't really, this condition right here isn't as versatile as the one in the while loop, so we can't really mess around as much with it. And you want to make sure that this condition is always met at some point, or else your browser will freeze up, which would be called, we have an infinite loop which would just continue forever. I can show you that my browser is just going to freeze up. I'll just put a million here. that a million? Yeah, it's a million. So it got stuck at 526. I'm pretty much frozen. I have to copy and paste this. Starting the tab. Oh, that's done with me. Okay, well, that's it for for loops and while loops. We'll be going over for in loops, which is a certain way of looping through arrays in the advanced tutorial series, but that's it for loops in the basics. In the next tutorial, we'll be going over prompts and alerts. I showed you an alert in the first tutorial or the second one, I can't remember which. But we'll be talking about those and using if statements with them. And then that will be the last video in our tutorial. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.